Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome to another edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mark Weiner, joined by Joe Mihalich, the head coach of Hofstra Pride men's basketball. Coach, how's it going?
Things are going okay. It's cold out and it's winter time. That means it's basketball season, so let's play some games.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the games you played last week. A 1-1 week for your team. First, a 72-61 loss to the College of Charleston. Just take us through that game.
Well, they really defended us, and we weren't as tough as you need to be offensively. I've said this before, probably on this show, that when people think about toughness, they always think about rebounding and defense, but you have to be tough on offense as well. We weren't. It also speaks to how good the league is. I mean, this league, the league is ranked 9th in the country. Now, there's 32 leagues. 9th in the country, our league is ranked, and it just speaks to how good the league is. I mean, 1 through 10, how good the league is.
After that game against the Cougars, you talked about resiliency and being able to bounce back, and you did just that, an 80-76 win over the Elon Phoenix. It was a really an exciting game, right, Coach?
Terrific game. Terrific game. Again, two good teams battling out. Every night's going to be that way. After the Charleston game, I said to the players, I said, fellas, buckle up, because every game's going to be a ride like this one. And the toughest team on the floor that night's going to win. Anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can lose to anybody. And if we're not ready to go and be in top form every night, it's going to be a long night.
When you talk about resiliency, you have to talk about what your team did in that game against the Elon. Tanksley wasn't shooting very well. He ends up with 17 points going inside, and then the whole team had to go inside. You only had 6 3-pointers made, none of them coming in the last 10 minutes of the game, so it really changed the way the offense normally goes.
Well, I guess you gotta take what the defense gives you. I think we are a lot more versatile than people think. I think you can look at our stats and say, hey, they just want to shoot threes. I hope that's not the case. Maybe it is, but I hope that's not the case. I think we can do a little bit more than just that. Once again, I'll repeat what I said earlier about Charleston. I think Elon, some of those polls, was picked 10th, and they've proved to be as good as anybody else in the league.
The main player you have to talk about from last week, Rokas Gusti's back-to-back double-doubles. He's just looked fantastic. It's really that Sacred Heart game on. Has he been the best player in your team, arguably, the last couple of weeks?
Well, the last couple of weeks, he certainly has been very, very good. If he's going to get that little title there, that's fine. Take a little bit of the pressure off the other guys. But he's actually back to where he was, in October, November of last year, before he hurt his leg, his groin, his whatever. And that set him back so much because it just wasn't handled the way maybe it could have been. And it's just, I'm glad he's been successful. He's playing within himself. I know it sounds like coach speak, but he's doing the things he can do and not trying to do too much.
Coming up this week, 2 home matchups. First against the Drexel Dragons. Obviously, they're 1-3 in conference, but they just beat a team that you guys lost to last week. I know you talked about it after the game against Elon. It's really amazing that the last team in the league can beat a team like Charleston.
Exactly. You said it. So all I can do is agree with that. Drexel and Charleston, who'd have thunk that? Nobody. Charleston coming off a good win, and Drexel. But Drexel's just so tough. They're just so tough. Bruiser's such a good coach, and his teams battle and fight and compete. If you're not ready to do those things, you're not going to win.
Then on Saturday, you have Madison, the preseason 1 versus preseason 2, and a team that you beat in the CAA tournament but lost to twice in the regular season last year. So what do you see in the Dukes?
Well, as I've said so many times before, we play Drexel next, and I don't even like to talk or think about that game afterwards.
All right, well, Coach, just in general this week, after what you saw last week from your team, you watched the film, what do you need to still improve on?
Well, I don't know, if I were to say everything, I think it's probably not what you're looking for. But that's probably the answer. If we don't improve in every little area, we've got to get better in a lot of ways defensively. We always have to get better there. If we don't rebound the ball, we can't win. And then, after that Charleston game, we were so bad offensively. There's a lot of work to be done there.
Head coach of Hofstra Pride men's basketball, Joe Mihalich, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Mark.
This has been the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com.